This is my Double Eagle Noveski N4 NWS clone. In the last video, we showcased one of the weirdest stocks you can possibly get for an AR platform on the market. And I figured what better follow-up to that video than the weirdest foregrip available on the market. This is the CQR Gen 2 front grip by Hera Arms, a German company. To unpack in this box, the grip. And there's one major issue. I'm sure you noticed right out of the box, it doesn't match at all. Well, originally they didn't have black available on the website, and I was going to just wait and pick that up when it was available. And then I realized, why don't I show you how to modify this and make it black without using spray paint? Let's go do that. Alrighty, what do we need to make this happen? Well, we're gonna need a bucket or a container of your choice that you don't mind destroying. The hottest boiling water that you can get a hold of. And what I do is I get a bucket of tap water as hot as the tap can handle, because the boiling water is just too hot and the tap water is still a little too cool, and I want it to kind of mix and make like a in-between. If you have the ability to control larger pots of boiling water, you can really temperature gauge it. I just don't have the ability to do so. We need some black dye. It can be liquid or powder. Our grip. And a brick to weigh the grip down. Process is actually rather simple. We're just going to toss the grip in. We'll toss the grip on top, and the reason we do this is because it's going to float, and we don't want it to float. So anything that's going to float, you got to weigh down some ways. Next, what we're going to do is take our boiling water and pour it right on in. And the reason I do the brick first and I don't like mix it, all the dye in first, is just because I don't want to put my hand in there. And what we're going to do is add a little bit of like the regular water just to kind of cool it off a tad bit. You want it pretty hot. That should do. Lastly, we're going to open our dye packet. And the reason that we dye it and not spray paint it is pretty simple. So spray paint, especially in a high friction area like a foregrip, is going to start to wear off. Now, the last time I dyed something, it was actually like a desert tan, and I dyed it to black, and it actually worked out pretty well. The idea here is, if this doesn't completely darken it, I'll spray paint it also, but at least the base color is darker now, so when it does start to wear away, you won't see as much of a difference. I also recommend doing this in clothes that you don't mind destroying. And we're just gonna sprinkle that on in there, and we'll get something to mix this up. Anything long and stick-like will do. All the dye is going to melt away anyway, and it's going to start to mix with the water. Just going to mix it up as much as I can, get the water moving. And after I'm done mixing it, we'll come back in an hour. The longer you leave it in here, the better. The darker it's going to get. So I'll see you guys in about an hour. First things first, let's glove up. We're going to pour this somewhere where we don't mind things getting like just coated in black. And I'm going to be careful just because I don't want to wind up scratching the grip with the brick. After we pour out a decent bit of it though, we should just be able to grab at it. Still can't see it. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is just like, looks like Marvel's Venom. All right, if we can pull the brick out now. We should also be able to grab the grip, put that on the brick. So if you look, it ain't perfect, but it is darker. There's a ton of dye still left in it because it is like a hollow casing. So I'm just going to shake it off a ton, and then we'll rinse it off. Back at the table, it did start drizzling. I don't think it's going to stick around, though. I was looking up at the clouds, and that just, I mean, it's not perfect. But that just looks already so much better. Like, honestly, at a quick glance, you wouldn't even know that we dyed this thing. So let's get it installed. Now, first of all, you're going to notice that this thing needs a rail to mount onto. And unfortunately, the underside of the DE N4 does not have a rail on the base. So what we're going to have to do is throw some on. And with that comes these small little rail segments. And I was looking, the longer one's probably not going to work. It's just a little too short. So what I'm going to have to do is use 2 of the shorter rail segments. I just picked this up on Amazon. And then it comes with the included hardware needed to install it. And we'll just grab, we're going to need 4 of each. So we'll grab 4 of the screws. Oh, tell me I don't have enough. Oh no. I got 3 screws and 4 boots. Where's the other screw? Did a little searching and I found one lying around. Luckily, I always have some spares of stuff on me. Now what we're gonna have to do is just figure out where these have to sit. So, oh boy. I don't know. I don't even think both of these are gonna fit on here. Maybe I'm gonna need a smaller one. We'll go for the smaller size. We'll toss this one back. I think those 2 should do. Throw one in the back, because these are longer, and then one up front. Is that of good distance? I think that'll do. Yeah, I think that'll do. Okay, so we're gonna throw one up in the front, and then one in the back. So I got the one on, and we want it to sit as far back as possible. So I would assume kind of like there. And we'll throw the other small rail up on the front end. And the reason I have it set up like this is because I actually want to be able to get this as far back as possible, like pretty close to the mag well. Not too close that we can't open the bolt if we need to and access the internals. But yeah, why don't we mount that on and see what position we're gonna need this in. Slide this guy on the end. You have to take the screws and bolts and stuff all the way out. Okay, I want this pretty far back. I think that's as far back as it's going to allow me to put it. And then we'll go ahead and drop these 2 in. I probably could have used a single rail segment, but sometimes, you know, you kind of just got to use whatever you got lying around. And then we'll hold these in place and drop these in. I'm losing one of the nuts. No, I'm not? Okay, we're good. And let's tighten these down. Once we grab it, I could just hand tighten it in a second. That one out. Now we're in. Okay. Let's just give it a little hand tighten. And see what it looks like. I really don't know if I like that. Oh, it'll be a shame if I did all that work for no reason. Yeah, man, I really don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Just not really a fan of the look. Sure, ergonomically it feels great. But I almost just wish it was butt up all the way against the receiver. I don't know. Kind of just looks a little out of place. What do you think? I'll post this because I want some opinions, but that probably won't stay there. Wow, a lot of work for not a whole lot of return. I'll catch you in the next adventure. Peace.